Okay, can we hear and see? Are we good? I see you, Candace and Lana. Are we thumbs up? Okay. So welcome to the first intentional networking gathering. I have really put this together because I'm hearing more and more that there are amazing coaches, healers, creatives who want to be networking, who want to be sharing their gifts and bringing things out and collaborating, especially. And maybe you do not want to be going to an after hours with wine and cheese and networking with insurance salesmen and bankers who are going to be like, energy healing? What do you do? Right? Like I hear that a lot. And maybe you don't want to go to an in-person event where there's going to just be, as empaths, so many people that you're going to absorb everything and go home drained. And so this format of once a month gathering, if it resonates with you, I'm going to be keeping this free. The intention is right now that it will be every second Thursday of the month. As it grows, maybe we need to have breakout sessions or figure it out. But my goal is that today, each of you will have 2 minutes to share about what you do. So what are you going to do with those 2 minutes? Just if you're new to the list, new to being in any of the spaces that I hold, my name is Chelsea, and I help really gifted, like amazingly gifted coaches and healers earn a living online, doing what you love and bringing your gifts out to the world. And so I help you do this, even if the tech, the software, the businessy stuff is really not your jam, or even makes your soul hurt a little bit or cringe, because that's what I do. I live and breathe all this stuff, so I can help make it fun and easy. So here's 3 keys of intentional networking. And I say intentional because if you are carving out time, and for many of us as empaths and intuitives, if you're carving out the energy to show up in person or on a screen for an hour or even longer, if you go to an in-person event, what is your intention for that networking? What are you hoping to get out of it? And then how can you really pour into that group to have it be a win-win both ways? And so I'm going to just very quickly go over a couple key points around crafting your elevator pitch. And in the chat, if you have a better idea, a better term we should use other than elevator pitch, I would love to have us find like a common language of what we think about this, but everybody kind of knows that term. Talking about identifying your ideal referral or specific ask. So this is really where the intentionality comes in, setting intentions for the year, setting intentions for the quarter, for the month, and then what is your ask that would be helpful for you if someone was able to support you. And then key number 3 is taking the networking beyond the call. So how can you stand out during the call and take conversations off to build those win-win relationships? So just a couple points on each of these. Key number 1, crafting your elevator pitch. Clarity and brevity. Is this hard for anybody else to explain what you do very quickly in a way that feels authentic? For me, many times I'll like say my 2 minutes, then be like, oh, that's not actually what I meant to say. Like I want to impart more emotion and more of my energy in what I do. And so it's really important, if nothing else, if you come today and you feel like you stumble over your words, cool, because you've shown up here today and now we have something to work with. It's really about working on your title, an engaging hook, and then explaining what you do in a concise way and keeping your audience in mind. I think this is really important. I was talking about this with a member in my intuitive business community, where she was saying, I feel like I need to say something if I know I'm in a room of other healers or people who get my lingo, versus if I'm in a networking setting or a family gathering or somewhere where it's like, they don't know what any of these words mean. And I think that's really important. So if you do practice and come monthly and evolve your elevator pitch, I would encourage you to know that, yes, in this room, there may be people who know what breathwork is or energy code or emotion code or energy healing, but I would craft what you're saying as though none of us are in that space, so that we can maybe even give you feedback on how easy it is to understand. The second tip is to time yourself. What I am going to do is encourage all of us to pull out our phone when it is our time. We'll kind of go in order. I'll try to make sure we get everybody. And to set your phone for 2 minutes. If you have a timer, if you start and you're like, I don't have a timer, I'm freaking out, let me know and I'll time you. But I always like to put the self-leadership. What can you effectively communicate in 2 minutes? If today is your practice run and you're like, it cut me off, I don't know, didn't finish my sentence. That's okay, finish your sentence. But it's a good practice because most networking events that you go to in person or online will have a time parameter. And then writing a script, write it out. If you decide that you want to do more networking events, use this as a safe space. Maybe you're hopping into other events in the new year. Write a script and read it out loud. Nobody is going to judge you the way that you think they will, and it will help you hone that skill. Identifying your ideal referral or specific ask. This is the biggest challenge for making sure that you actually get something out of the time you put into networking. So step one is to get super clear on your own goals right now. What are you specifically working towards as you network? Are you looking to grow your social media following, and asking someone to go like your most recent post would be helpful and in alignment with your intentions? Are you looking to grow your email list? Maybe you're sharing a freebie with everybody who's on the call. Are you looking for referral partners or collaborators or guests for your podcast, or maybe even clients to say, hey, here's the offer I have going on if you know someone or it resonates with you? Step two is the specific, being specific in the request. Vague requests will lead to missed opportunities. I always say it's like if someone told me, hey, I sell car insurance. Anyone you know who owns a car, can you send my way? You know hundreds of people who own a car, but it doesn't pull someone to mind. But if that insurance salesman were to say, who's the person that you know that just bought a car for their teenager? Someone's going to come to mind, and that's so much easier to guide people on how to help you. And then help them help you. We're going to use the chat. And I know this is our first time doing it, so if you didn't come prepared, there's no stress on this. But feel free to use the chat feature. If you are speaking about something and then you have a link that you can drop into the chat after you are done speaking in case someone liked what they heard, be prepared so that using the chat in Zoom or following up with people would be easy. And you can even have that like saved on a note or something so you can quickly do it. Key 3, see, I just did these slides like 15 minutes ago, is to be present and intentional. To listen with intention to help and make connections for others. And honestly, I feel like when I show up into a group with some consistency, like now, you know, if this resonates with you, this will be happening once a month, every second Thursday of the month. Just have faith that by being a giver in a group, you will eventually become a receiver, whether it's today or in the future. So showing up consistently, intentionally trying to offer value, trying to make those connections that people are asking for, it really does pay off. I know that all of us are much more in maybe the woo-woo space of like trusting that what you put out there is going to come back to you. It definitely does in networking. And so I'll be running this free live networking group every second Thursday of the month. If you're on my, by signing up, you're now on my email list, so you'll know about the future dates. And I'm going to try to squeeze like 2 minutes in at the very end, just to talk about something that I'm offering. Since you trusted me and you got onto this first networking call, I've got a little special. If there is some support that you are desiring to have in the new year, I have a little special to share with you at the end.